Another ridiculously bad choice by me. And haven't actually finalized the choice yet, but I mean, I made the choice to do the pack. That choice was atrocious. The options in the pack are atrocious. It would be difficult for this to have been any worse. It really would have been difficult for it to have been any worse. Because I mean, we all have like the free from playing the game events and progression free agent cards that are under 93. Like, if you watch the last two broadcasts, I talk about a couple of them: Jordan Subban, Camilleri. Um, Way before that, Matt Molson, who might I don't know why that wasn't a draft card as opposed to a free agent, but whatever. Um, I mean, there's an 85 Agazino. I mean, if they would have tossed one of those into this pack, I mean, people should just boycott EA forever if that particular card was ever for any player ever in the game. One of the three choices here, and obviously they wouldn't choose that as one of their three choices, but it means that now they only have two out of the potential three to choose from. And what are the other free agent cards I didn't mention? The Ryan Reeves, he's like a 91, I think. So kind of along the same lines as Camilleri. Um, and the Reeves card plays terribly. He's fast. That's about it. They're all fast though, so it's like it's not news. So like 93 overall is kind of the worst you can get for as far as free agent cards that are impacts or were impacts. So this is the worst that overall that we can get, and even from there, it's also exceedingly terrible. Like I have a Kira, and I have a JT Comfer. I think they're both great cards. I think they're technically both all also centers, but their face-offs are terrible, so they don't generally take face-offs for me. And I've been trying to play games without them in the lineup to see how like other stuff would play in case I wanted to try to sell the things or whatever. Um, and those ones are like the Comfer might be like a 97, but I think the Kira is like a 90. I guess it could be a 95. But I'm pretty sure it's a 93. It's a much more boss card. I guess it could potentially be a similar to to Jesus to Di Giuseppe here. Um, they're both left-handed shots. I think Kira's a bit bigger, probably not a bunch taller, but I think he's got a little more beef to him. But 60200 is kind of the the two markers that you got to go more beef as opposed to lankiness, whatever. And it's 99 speed across the board. Nothing really to complain about there. The shot power is weak though. It's 92. It's gonna get some boosts from synergies. Um, None that Philip has, because why would you want to do that? I don't know. Maybe something weird like it's a trap might add something slightly, but I doubt it. And then the accuracies are also bad, 86 and 87 respectively. It's like again on the low end. Like both of those are like the low end of what I would say is even like worth considering. And then you toss in there an endurance of 87. So like a lot of other cards, after that change was made, he's gonna be dragging his ass on the ice if he's ever out there for more than the equivalent of 30 seconds in real life. So if you don't understand what that means in games that aren't full 20-minute periods, you have to like prorate it. You got to truncate it, um, so that like 30 seconds in a 20-minute period is the equivalent to what in a 2-minute period. It's obviously 1/10 of that. So like after they're out there for fucking 3 seconds, um, they're already tired. It's so asinine. I kind of understand why they would opted to do that. It's really weird from an end game perspective, but whatever. Congratulations, there you go. That's your end game. Um, the other stats don't matter. Um, I guess he wouldn't be likely to end up in a lot of unintended fights. Adding a ton for me the way that Kara or Comfort or any of the uh, um, any of the monthly legends that have been upgraded to 99s would uh, get for me or whatever, where I like wouldn't really want to lose one of them. Uh, One of the last few games that I played, it's a bunch together just recently, uh, like within the last couple hours. Sakic, I went too heavy into the boards, and it was actually kind of a double penalty. But the end result was they gave me a game misconduct, and that's not just 5 minutes, but it's also you're gone for the game. And it was nothing. This is just versus the computer, but in a game that I needed to like at least get the win, I think, or whatever, to get the coins, um, and just got destroyed because now I'm up against a superior team, minus at least one of my good players, and are already playing with um, a lineup that was selected for other reasons besides just like how good they are or whatever. Was mostly testing out players like this or that are slightly worse, because there are players that are slightly worse. You want an example? There's one of them. You know, dude is at 98 on agility. They don't even bother to give him the 99 for that. His endurance is 89, so it's technically slightly better. And okay, actually his slap shot power is +1, so there's that. But then his accuracy is lower. And he's a defender. He's actually slightly bigger, 6'3", 205. He also shoots from the left side. But generally, I would say that card is worse than Phillips' card. But they're both basically as bad. They're both not any good. Not really worth choosing when you have a choice. So I like playing with players like Phillip here, who are 99 on their speed, and comparing them to other players who are 99 on speed and don't need an additional boost then from synergy, but would get it because stuff like burner I've got activated at all times, and seeing how like the variance in their endurance rating, how that impacts their play and stuff like that. And so there's like certain players like Comfer and Kara, for example, haven't played in my last like 10 games because they're a boss. I already know they're a boss. So I'm kind of comparing players like Philip here to those spots where it's like all they really have is they're as fast as they're supposed to be, which beginning of the year would have meant that they were fast as fuck basically, but at end game now for some strange reason they get blown out by like base gold rare 84 to 87 rated cards. That just makes no sense to me, but whatever, is what it is. I also have no idea if either of these two cards sell for anything, because these are not untradeable, which is another way of saying that they're tradable. So if I choose it, I could try to sell it, and they are both cards that I don't really have an interest in, and I would imagine almost any amount of coins that would be offered to me for them, I would much rather have the coins. Now, clearly, like, this is a loss. Like, this required 6 draft collectibles. At this present moment, people who are online on the PS4 side are boosting that market so that what you see me having there right now, just under 42k coins, would not be enough to buy even one draft collectible. So even if we go to the low end where, like, you say an average of 40K, if you can't snipe them, if you're not Thrash and you're somehow able to buy all of your collectibles for 30K and then turn around and sell them all for 45, which I watch the market all day. I don't know how that's possible, but whatever. You said you've been doing it. I believe that you probably were. I don't think that you are, based on how the market works now. But um, yeah, I mean, let's say they're 40K a piece. There's six of them, so that's pretty easy math. 240K. I don't see how or why any of these three cards would go for 240K. Since there's like 99 overall cards that like don't even go for that much. So very clearly comparing this to, say, I don't know, waiting until I had six collectibles and choosing 2 out of 9. Were they really going to give me 993s, none of which were even maxed on shot? Maybe. I don't know. Or were they going to toss in like 4 goalies out of that 9? So there were really only like 5 forwards to choose from, assuming you wanted one. Again, I don't know the resale value on these things, but I can't imagine it's 240K, so it's not like I can just pick either one. I would imagine Philip would go for more. I don't see how he wouldn't. I mean, Hainsey's got a 95 for defense, and the other stats, his handles are -1 from Philip, and his checking is even. So even with the -2 and the shit to be expected from a defender, even with the boosts that they've been given end game, he's got good defensive stats if that's something that you care about. So I could see him going for something like more than 0, but probably not that much more than what Philip is going for. So I kind of want to. How about I screenshot myself here? I'd be interested to see what these three go for. Now the thing is, if this was a 2 of 9, make it a little bit easier. But I think I can't believe I'm gonna do this. He's not fat enough, motherfucker. God damn it! Like 6, and he plays hybrid. Yeah, 6'3", 195. What's his where is his there's aggression 76. Huh. So he'll stay home more? Kinda like that. Rebound control's garbage. I mean, that's kind of to be expected for all NHL19 cards now, so that we can all pay more attention to how much better it is in 20. Huh. Yeah, for a 93, he doesn't have any stats that go really much above 93. He's got 94 speed and agility. I've never actually had to consider, since like September of last year, maybe October, I haven't had to really consider too much like the underlying stats of a goalie, because for a very long time we were all convinced that it didn't matter and like size was more important, and therefore absolutely at least your backup, if not also your starter, should be like a bronze rare or a special silver rare that was just all about the synergies, which is what I'm going to get to here. Keith Kincaid that you see on your screen, his synergies here are the same for every other free agent cards goalie card. Now I have because I make poor choices, I guess. I chose Michael DiPietro's on the choice pack when we had one of the 4 to pick from. And I had another goalie to choose from. What's his face? What's the one that everyone else got? They're both rated the same. But yeah, I took DiPietro. I don't know if they had done this thing yet where they made all of the goalies have the same synergies. Kind of wish that I knew that because I'm not currently playing with DiPietro in goal, but I will. Um, and I guess I could like swipe them in and out. I guess Kincaid would become my starter probably. Um, if only just because the aggression stat is or trait is so low. I'm kind of getting sick of watching these guys like try to get out and cover out by the dots. It's like just stay home a little bit, please. Like don't make it so that all anybody ever has to do is cross your face, and then it's the easiest little Johnny tap in Tavares kind of tap in for him, no matter who the other player is. But because this is a goalie and he's got the +2 on those synergies, I am actually considering this. I think this is my selection. And yeah, if ahead of time you would have said that you're going to have 3 choices and one of that 3 choices is going to be a goalie and you're going to hate the other 2 choices so much from however you'd factor it in, like based on the card itself, being able to play with the card, finding a spot in your lineup with the card, or selling it and getting any amount of coins that you'd be comfortable with back in return for it. And instead, you'd rather pick the goalie who you don't even really care about his playability so much as you're getting effectively +10 across the 5 team-based synergies. Um, Fuck me, man. God damn it. I mean, this card probably sells for like 50K, right? I don't know. Can I like leave this page, come back and choose later? I probably can, right? Oh no, something is totally going wrong with my system. I don't know how to